Hi, I've created a dessert very similar to a tiramisu. Now, this dessert is appropriate for people on a low iodine diet. It is also appropriate for people on vegan diets, raw diets, paleo diets. Mine happens to be organic. You can do it organic or not. It doesn't also have to be raw either, but you can fulfill all of these dietary restrictions with this particular dessert. So, this is to give hope to people who may feel as though they have a very restrictive diet. Now, instead of dairy, I've used coconut milk and kind of a cashew milk that I've made through blending these nuts. And I have much lower iodine levels in doing that. The kind of iodine concentration you get from like a young Thai coconut as opposed to, or even almonds, as opposed to traditional US cow dairy is about 1/450th to 1/600th the concentration of iodine. So much less iodine than, and you'd get all the flavors and even more flavor you'd get from this than you would get from straight cow milk. So the ingredients I'm using is the young Thai coconut, fresh. I'm using also almonds, walnuts, cashews, dates, raw vanilla bean. This is all raw, by the way. Some carob powder, maple syrup. And those are all the ingredients I'm using. I'm going to go layer by layer. I've got 3 layers to this dessert. So to begin with, I've taken the cashews and total about 8 ounces of cashews, 6 ounces of walnuts. And I've soaked those for several hours and rinsed those nuts to get the phytates off. And then once that's set aside and ready, I've then gone to the young Thai coconut. I've cracked the bottom of it. Here's what it looks like. The center on the bottom is a little bit softer. So if I get right in the center with, let's say, an oyster shuck or an ice pick or something similar, and then let that drain into the blender. Now, I'm only going to use 30% or so of that water, that coconut water. The rest I'll just drink straight, about 70% of it. Let that stay in the blender, and then take this young Thai coconut into like a garage, sit it on top of a box or a towel, turn it sideways, and then give it a few whacks with an axe, split that, rinse out the coconut shards on the inside, and then scoop out that soft gelatinous flesh. And that's how you'll know it's a young coconut as opposed to the older ones. It's going to have a softer flesh to it. You can scoop it out pretty easily with a spoon. It's going to be a little bit less fat content to these and pretty high in minerals. And a little bit of a vanilla flavor in this young Thai coconut. They tend to taste better when they're younger. And then I'm going to put that coconut flesh with the coconut water, blend that together. The kind of consistency you'll be getting is similar to maybe like a yogurt ice cream combination. Let that sit in the fridge, but I'll take 2 serving spoons of that, stick it into I've got a juicer, a Jack LaLanne juicer, something a little stronger than a traditional blender that'll kind of blend it up a little bit more finely, a little bit more effectively, with a little more power, because I'm going to be adding nuts to that. I'm going to add about 5 ounces of walnuts, 3 ounces of dates, all this mixed together. About a half an ounce to an ounce of maple syrup. Got some organic dark maple syrup. You can get lighter dark. I like it a little stronger. Just about 3% of this vanilla bean. Just pinch off, just a real small bit. And vanilla's got a little bit of iodine in it, but you're using such small amounts anyway. And the vanilla, the young Thai coconut already has a little bit of vanilla flavor with it, but I like a little more vanilla to it. Add that, and then about 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons of the carob powder. Sprinkle that on there, and then blend all that together. And that's going to be the first layer. So I've got vanilla bean, walnuts, dates, maple syrup, carob powder, and the coconut milk. Those components blended for the first layer. Scoop it out onto a kind of a dish similar to this. It's segmented. Mine is segmented here. See here, I've got 6 of them, and I've let that set in the fridge. But that's my first layer, and then my second layer. I just go right in and use 1 ounces of walnuts, 2.5 ounces of almonds, 4 ounces of cashews, a half ounce to an ounce of the maple syrup, another 3% or so of that vanilla bean, that raw vanilla bean, and 2 teaspoons of carob powder, 2 serving spoons of the coconut milk again, and 2 ounces of dates. And then I'm going to scoop that out, put it on. That's my next layer. It won't be quite as dark. And then on my last layer, I'm going to take 4 ounces of cashews, 2.5 ounces of almonds, 1.5 or a half to 1 ounce of maple syrup, another 3% or so of that raw vanilla bean, and then all the rest of that coconut milk that I've blended in the fridge, that fresh young Thai coconut milk. I think that's really key to setting off this dessert. That really makes this an exceptional dessert if you use that young Thai coconut. You can use, there's coconut milk in the stores that I don't know how raw they are, but there is that. It doesn't taste as good as the fresh coconut though. And then just drizzle a little bit of that carob powder on top. Now you could add non-iodized salt to this. There's a little sodium already in the coconut, so I don't mess with that. Again, the vanilla is optional on that. And this is what you get, the finished product. And I'm just gonna go right into this. It's really soft. I've let it sit out from the fridge for a while. And I probably could have used there we go. And kind of scoop this on out here. Well, it's really soft. It's gooey, it's delicious, it's decadent. It's relatively healthy. You can see the bottom layer. I've turned it upside down. If I cut into the next layer, it's a little darker there. There's 3 layers to it. That's that. Really delicious. I mean, it almost has kind of a coffee flavor with those components together. I think it's the maple syrup and the carob powder together. I mean, along with everything else, it really tastes quite a bit like a tiramisu. But you're going without the caffeine here. That's the advantage. So give it a try. Hope you like it. I love it. I don't eat this kind of food every day, but it's relatively healthy. Mainly, the main ingredients is fresh nuts.